Hi, everybody.
Hello.
Welcome to Guilty Treasure Dungeons & Dragons.
Yay!
Yay! Someone else do the intro for a second.
Hello, everybody. It's Guilty Treasure Dungeons and Dragons by the
Cool Guy
Toys.
Club.
We have a new background because we are not in the
we do.
same locale that we were before.
We're
That's
back
right.
in Spooky Town instead of the Spooky Carnival.
Yeah.
We went from Spooky A to Spooky B.
In fact, we last time was the last Halloween episode, and we celebrated by escaping the Carnivorous Carnival.
We celebrated by not dying. It was so
Yeah.
great.
That is my
Yeah,
favorite
no.
way to celebrate.
Hey.
And it was close. Oberon almost died. 1 hit point there for a while.
Which was awesome.
He's very strong.
It was awesome. I'm not gonna lie.
I feel like I should aside. I know OB's stats are wrong to multi-class. That's my fault, chat. I'll work with Arkham to fix it later.
Yeah.
Just don't pay any mind to it right now.
It's fine. It's
Yeah.
fine.
Is it?
What'd you guys get for your completion of the holiday side quests?
An endless candy bucket.
Oh yeah. Someone's hoarding it, but you
Yeah,
know,
someone
we'll...
took it.
I'm
Yes.
looking after it.
Nemaya, I had no idea Nemaya was multiclassing into Switch Witch.
Oh, shit.
A witch, if you will.
Oh.
Ooh.
But that is not all, for you see, last time I introduced our Patreon benefits, where you can give boons or banes to our players. If you go to our Patreon, you get to vote. Every boon is like an inspiration point that the players get to use that month. But a bane is something that I do to challenge my players. Case in point, ever since eating the strange demon ichor fried funnel cake, thank you. I was like, what do you call that stuff? Dawn's been
Delicious.
feeling strange. Who could not make it today, but that's all right. We will miss her, but we will.
I'm done.
I think-
Don't have any fun. I'm done. I don't have a sword, but don't have any fun.
Nice.
Except maybe do because I like you.
You're not allowed to catch anything on fire.
That's no doubt what Dawn would be saying, except that the full moon was unveiled as we were let out of the mysterious domain of dread that was the Carnivorous Carnival, back into the land of Ravenperch. And Dawn started to feel strange. Her body began to morph and take on a more wolfish visage than is customary for Dawn, until she looked something like, and I will direct you all to the stream now, this.
Nice.
Babe, I think you're a little quiet. You might want to turn.
Don, you skipped shaving today?
So I need 2 things from you all.
I
Up
want to
top.
laugh, but I haven't caught up on the stream.
Oh no, you'll see.
Okay.
But
It's subtle. It's subtle.
I need 2 things from you all as Dawn is standing there, morphed,
Awoo.
bulging out of her armor and clothing, howling at the moon, which is punctuated by many others joined in the distance.
Yipping at the moon.
I need first percentile rolls from all of you.
Oh boy.
Oh boy. Also, I just noticed what you did.
Beautiful.
Thank you. I spent precious minutes of the last hour before the game doing that.
Nice.
That didn't-
Ooh, number 4.
I actually
Whoa.
take 2 D100. Let me take that.
Yeah, I was about to say.
145.
I'm the best at typing.
Here we go.
Wait, what?
Don't let anybody
Oh,
type
2D100.
otherwise. Yeah, 31. There we go.
31, 28. Who got the highest?
Nemaya?
Yeah, the Maya.
Yeah.
She got 57.
57.
Well, your
was
first
the
one
highest.
was 78.9,
My
Laurel.
first one was... I should have taken the first one.
Yeah, I usually go with that when there's a mess up on the die.
Okay.
All right. So pay no mind to that now. Roll initiative.
Oh no.
I'm paying mind to it.
No, please don't.
I'm doing it.
My good initiative rolling continues.
Ooh.
Wow. Wow. Well, starting this off high, are you?
Oh, this is. Hopefully, it won't be like our private game we did on Tuesday, where we were literally just rolling 1s, 2s, and 3s all game.
Yeah,
That was pretty
I
bad.
mean, it's roll
Yeah.
4, so it wasn't like
Yeah, it's on the. It's
6.
good.
6 with the bonus.
Hey,
6 buddies.
Oh well. That.
I also rolled 6. That was great.
Hold on.
We're
I
all
need to
rolling
make
really
notes.
well.
There we go. 10.
10 is the high of our initiative.
All right. Now, what is this this woof's a knit?
she has a name. It's Dawn.
This creature.
This creature. I'm just going to assume that it's
Dawn,
+2. Please add an 11 to that.
Okay.
So, this beast that has manifested before you, out of what was formerly a pleasant acquaintance, is now leveling her wolfish head at you, teeth bared, jaws open, salivating. This creature is starved for meat. At least that's what you think. And y'all look pretty tasty.
I don't have any more corn dogs. I gave it to the snake.
Quick, shove candy in her mouth.
So let's see. First on our initiative roll actually is the werewolf.
Oh no.
That's actually fortunate for you guys because her ears perk up as there are howls on the wind. Everywhere there are howling wolves. Or at least you hope they're just wolves. And her eyes are drawn not towards you, but to the mountains to the east. So she is actually turning away from you and looking towards the mountains.
Stay.
Okay.
Oh, this is tough.
Stay.
Laurel is saying stay, and no sooner than that does Wolf Dawn go just tearing ass towards those mountains.
Bad girl. Go
Yeah,
for it.
she's going to double move her claws digging into the earth and ripping up like chunks of grass just from the sheer force as she tries to make her way there with all haste. And her speed is 40 feet, so she moves 80 feet away from you guys in one turn.
Whoa.
Yeah,
Goodness.
she's pretty fast.
Fast girl.
So, next in the initiative order is Oberon. Obi, what would you
Yeah.
like to do?
Well, I'd like to take one of my ropes and try a lasso.
Do you have it pre-tied as a lasso?
No, I'd probably have to tie it because I assume it just, it's my shibari rope. I always have it with me, but I don't think I ever have them pre-tied. So yeah, it's
think-
that, and a leash and collar is sort of what I'm going for to try, lasso over the neck. That's my aim.
I'm afraid
I'm
that's going to
wholeheartedly-
take a second. I'll say it
Yeah.
takes an action to tie.
Okay. Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I would definitely think it would take ones. I'm not.
It'll be fine.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
can run and be like, okay, I can do this.
All right, so
but-
you move 30 feet towards the fleeing werewolf,
right,
and then you're taking your time, your bonus actions to pull out the rope, and then your actions to try and tie a lasso out of it. All right,
yeah,
I like it.
Yeah.
Okay, Sally, it is your turn.
That is correct. And I'm trying to figure out, because we can't really just let Dawn run away, because then she's going to eventually be a not werewolf, and then she's just going to be hanging out with a bunch of scary wolves. And if they're the same ones that were with the creepy freaking caravan earlier, they'll bite us. They'll bite her.
They'll do
I
a
really
bite.
they will do a bite. I really like Obi's plan. I think it's a great plan. I'm trying to think of how I can help assist that.
Oh god, my shoulder already hurts.
I guess I'll start running after her.
All right.
I don't know. Can you pick me up and toss me? I mean, is
I mean, that's really more
Anyway,
Namaya's territory.
I
anywhere
think
you could boost me.
this can go either fastball special or nobody tosses a dwarf.
I mean, I feel like you and me are about the same size, though, so it might be tricky. I might need someone bigger, like Maya or something.
Yeah.
You
got it.
Can I start?
Huh?
Oh, sorry, keep going.
No.
Keep going.
I was
Sorry.
going to say something. I was going to say something stupid. Please continue.
Oh well, I want to say something stupid now. Can I start running after Dawn/Obi and then use Mage Hand to pick up a stick to try and trip her? I mean, she is a dog or a wolf, so she probably won't trip over it. But
you could throw it here, boy, sort of thing, maybe, because I don't think you can
Go get it.
I mean, stick it in front of her. She's quite ahead of us.
Yeah, she's not a bicycle.
Try to distract with a stick or something.
Yeah, can I attempt to be like, hey Don, hey, look, it's a stick. You love those. You want to go fetch or hit someone with it?
You can certainly try.
Well, that's what I'd like to do. And
All
I'm
right.
gonna do it while also running after it, so it's gonna be like, hey
So,
Don, wait.
30 feet forward. Conjure your mage hand 30 feet further. That's 60 feet. Mage hand grabs a stick and is going to throw it and try to get her attention. Right?
I think, I think that'd probably be best.
Okay. Doesn't work. She does not pay any mind to the stick. And if you throw it in front of her, she crunches it under paw. And
Well, she
continues
doesn't want to
running.
play fetch, y'all.
No, she does not want to play fetch. There seems to be something calling to her on a primal level.
Ooh. Phone call. Interesting. Well, I'm gonna keep dashing after her.
All right. Well, you moved and then you action, so you're 30 feet to Oberon. You're tied with Oberon right now. Dawn is currently 50 feet ahead of you.
Well, we're just gonna have to keep chasing her.
We can't keep up with her. If she's going, there's no way we can, unless someone has a way of stopping her. There's no point in chasing, because we can't catch her.
Doesn't Laurel have Vine Whip?
I have Entangle. That's not my turn yet.
I just realized I have Web. It's probably the most Sally move I've ever made.
You're like Usagi that's like, how am I gonna have the thing? And it's like, don't you have a disguise pen? She's like, oh, I forgot. I love her. But anyways, Namaya, it is your action. What would you like to do?
Tackle her.
I guess she's just going to sprint after Dawn in case someone else can come up with something that's going to let her catch up. But
Okay, how
there's nothing
far?
else.
Cannot
So
wait.
60 feet is all I can do.
Don't you have a special dash action of some sort?
Only if I rage, and that is... I don't have any left. I'm done
Right,
with those.
so we are-
long rest.
We are still bearing the scars of our encounter. Oops, sorry, chat. Of our encounter with Desmodontae Belfry. Yeah,
Took a lot out
so
of us.
60 feet. You, Namaya correctly realizes that she is not able to keep pace with this new wolfish form. And might be a little offended because you're used to outrunning Dawn. You're used to being the most athletic here. And now you're like, fucking, just because of some fucking flannel cake. All right.
Flannel cake?
Shh. Laurel, it's your turn.
And Laurel wonders what flannel cake is.
It's crisscrossy cake, of course. Yeah.
He reaches into his bag. He goes to find some of those balls from the ball pit that he was gonna.
Right.
He took.
Okay.
He's like, oh, I should. And then he sees Sally throw their stick and it doesn't work.
Yeah, she
So he's
doesn't
like,
care at all.
Oh, that's no fun, and he just entangles.
All right. Are you moving towards her?
Sure, I'll chase her, but
Okay.
the range is 90 feet.
All right. But, hedging your bets in case it doesn't work, you go forward 30 feet, so you're there with
20-foot square, which I will.
just right in front of
I'll
her.
conjure it where she's at, and then 19 feet in front of her.
Yeah.
No dodging.
Technically, how you would orient that is 5 feet was where it would be where she is.
Ah, well,
But she's
that's
running,
fine.
so you just stick it right in front
Yeah,
of her.
just- And then
Yep.
the weeds grow up everywhere.
All right.
Grab her.
What sort of save is involved with entangled?
Strength check.
Strength. Thank you.
Which normally wouldn't work that well on Dawn, but we'll see.
Yeah,
We'll see.
she's in a big beefy. You know, she's kind of a lean wolf though. Right now, I'd say she's something like a furry dream. So D20. Gotta get that good Foley.
Oh yeah.
So what is your spell save?
Oh, that's important. 14.
Ah, she beat it.
Yeah.
But it's still difficult terrain,
Difficult
correct?
terrain.
So it halves her
For-
speed for
yeah,
20
20
feet.
feet.
So it essentially takes 20 feet off. She only, therefore, is able to move... Well, it's not her turn yet. Actually, it is, if you're done.
I will bonus action take out a ball
Okay.
and be like, oh, look what I have.
So on Dawn's turn, she tramples the entangling garden that you threw up in front of her, which also you're not used to. She's usually very nice to your plants.
Oh, you squished that really nice looking flower.
That tried to wrap around your wolf ankle.
I wanted a hug.
Yeah, it's yellow. You like yellow.
And she's only able to get 60 feet, but now the mountains are starting to grow close, and you can see that she's heading for something of a the mountains meet, but they don't perfectly meet. There's like little ways to travel between the peaks a little bit as they start to go upward into the impassable mountains, you know? Like there's little runways,
Little crevasses.
little crevices, little paths that have been well, at least one of which has been located by this wolf Dawn. And the howls are getting worse.
Oh no.
You don't know if they're chasing you or if they're ahead of you, but it sounds kind of like both. So,
That might be a problem, but it's okay. If we can deal with one wolf, we can deal with more. It's totally easy.
Yeah, totally.
so that is all she is able to do on her turn is move 60 feet because of the difficult terrain. It costs double move on difficult terrain, right? That's what it is?
Yeah.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Obi.
Yes, I've got my lasso ready. And I'm still running, so I can get at least 30 feet closer.
All right.
And
If she was 50 plus 60, 110 minus 30, she's 80 feet away from you. Is your rope that long?
if I use inspiration, can I say that it is?
I will let you use your boon, which you do have. You have a boon
yay!
on Patreon. I will let you use your boon for this.
Oh my goodness.
Thank you. Thank
So, revered patrons of the Guilty Treasure have seen fit to alter fate, increasing magically the length of your rope so that you have even a chance of
you. Chance.
Oh, boy.
Lassoing.
lassoing the
Right.
Dawn, the Dawnaranian, if you will.
The Dawnaranian.
Oh my gosh. Okay, I got that. All right. So for lassoing here, do I need to just do as a dexterity?
Yeah, that's gonna have to be a Dex versus her AC.
Yeah, that's. Okay. I got 19.
That's pretty
19.
good.
I don't think Dawn's AC is that high.
Oh.
Thank goodness her wolf form has a
So-
buffer.
By the will of the patrons of the Guilty Treasure, you are able to just cannon arm that lasso straight forward and land it precisely on her person.
Nice.
Maybe you get the tail, maybe you get the head. It's hard to tell from this distance, but you
Yeah.
feel it go taut. I
Taut.
need a strength check from you, please.
Oh, this
Oh,
is not.
boy.
I don't have much strength right now. Okay.
It was at this
What?
moment that Obi realized he done fucked up.
And
Well, actually, I think I can work with this
16.
because I'm ahead.
yeah, 16.
You are so elated by the fact that you got it on her that you just look down in time. It's kind of comical to see the last slack of rope just snap taut, and you are yanked clean off your feet
Oh, boy.
and are now being dragged by this.
Good job, Obi. Don't lose her.
Oh, I've done that in real life before. It's not fun.
Yeah, you got some whiplash. Your neck's gonna hurt. You think you need a cleric,
Oh.
Oh,
a claropractor, if you will.
Okay. I'm screaming. I'm gonna say my last. I don't know if it's action, but it's something. But I just scream. I'm screaming for help now. I'm not even trying to be buff or to pretend like I'm a man or anything. I am screaming my head off.
Yeah, you're being dragged. Do you have one hit point left still?
No. I'm at
Oh, thank
22
goodness.
Because I know.
Right.
I
Healing
double
in
checked
the
that.
berry.
Right.
Because I ended up eating. I ate all the berries, and then I got that special healing where I was able to gain 5 after or 3.
Oh yeah,
after
that's still happening.
Yeah.
So
Oh good. Oh good.
I think well, it's been a minute, but you would
it
have
was-
gained 5 hit
Yeah, so
points
it was-
for every minute or every 6 seconds of that minute.
Nice.
So overall, I think you would have gained 60. So you're probably at full health again, actually.
Oh good. Okay. Well, we'll say that.
Yeah, yeah.
That works for me.
Like being super full and then yanked around.
Oh no.
So
those
that's
berries
good if
are
they're
starting to- Those berries are starting to come up.
if there are any rocks or cactuses in your way, you won't die. So why are there cactuses in a zone like Raven Perch? I don't know.
Okay, well, I
The
know.
great forest cactus. So majestic.
All right, so that is Oberon's turn. Sally,
Yeah.
you just see at first you're keeping pace with Oberon, and then all of a sudden, wah!
I love the initiative. I love the ideas. I love what we're up to. You love to see it. I also feel very inspired after watching Laurel. So I'm going to use my last level 2 spell slot to cast Web to try and
Alright.
trip her up.
Okay, that is a dex save.
Yeah, it's a
What
20-foot cube.
What is your spell
Sorry.
save?
Really good, 13.
Well, that's a 16 on the die, so she is
Well-
rolling on fire tonight.
It's still difficult terrain, so heck
All right, costs her even more movement. You guys are slowing her down.
You know, we gotta rescue both of our friends now.
Yeah, no worries.
Like, grab my hand. We can do like a chain here. Or grab my feet. Really, I think both hands are holding on.
I think you might be a little far away now.
Oh no!
Can I try and
Mechanically, this is happening at the same time.
Uh-huh.
So imagine, if you will, or not mechanically, excuse me, flavorfully. Imagine, if you will, that almost in slow motion, you can see as Oberon is just whiplashing forward. But mechanically, there has been no movement because it has not been the werewolf's turn yet.
Oh, okay.
So you can.
Can I jump on top of Obi to try and like grab him before he flies away?
That's kind of an action type thing.
Okay.
And you cast web.
Well, when you put it like that, you probably
Do you have quicken spell? You're a sorceress still, right?
Yeah, I do, but I don't have enough sorcery points for it.
Oh, okay. How about this? As a bonus action, you can move and put your arm forward so that
I have
maybe
an
Obi can catch it.
That doesn't matter. I was gonna say I have an inspiration point, but
Yeah, that's not really.
that's not what
Sure.
they
Well,
do.
you have a boon too. Come to think of it,
Well,
I think
hold on to
everybody
that.
has a boon except Namaya.
Oh no!
I have
No.
one. I have
You
got one last week. I didn't
Oh.
use it.
The rules normally is that they only stay for the current month, but that was the end of the month. Go ahead and have it.
Yay!
Well, I'm gonna hold on to my boom for now, but I will throw my arm out and be like, Obi, no!
All right, so Obi, you might be able to grab Sally and
Not become raised by wolves.
That takes us to Namaya. Namaya, paradoxically, as you're running after this werewolf, a loop of rope just like sails past you and lands on its quarry with 18 AC. So that was pretty impressive.
Yeah, so I'm gonna grab the rope.
All right, make a strength check. Oh. Well then.
That's a good noise.
This dice is on fire tonight.
Oh,
I'm
no.
almost like, babe, come watch me roll because I don't want people to think I'm cheating.
No, I can see.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
21.
21. All right.
Nice.
So that is also what Dawn rolled with her new wolfish strength modifier. So you're at a bit of a standstill. Like I think the way I'm gonna referee this is you are slowing her, but you're like Dragon Ball Z being pulled forward, like grinding into the dirt as this rabid beast is trying its absolute best to get into the hills.
Oh boy.
Well, I assume that's my action. I don't think I have a usable bonus action, so that's probably it.
All right, so you've pretty effectively slowed her, Laurel. You're finding it a little easier to catch up, so you think something's working.
Let's see. One little thing here.
At this time, by the way, as you guys are all running, you're starting to pass into the hills, and the area becomes more narrow. Like there's cliff sides on either side of the path now, and it's kind of jagged, but it's straight enough right now that you have like clear line of sight. Yeah, kind of like a gorge situation.
I gotcha.
The howls are omnipresent.
Perfect for stampedes.
Oh, I know. Wild Chafe will be a wolf.
Oh, okay. Laurel transforms into. Do you want to be a? I think you could be a big wolf.
I'll be a big wolf.
Can you be a dire wolf at this level?
Let me look at my things. I have a list specifically for that.
I'll look it up too, because that list is just suggestions, not all.
No,
you can
I
turn
found
into.
my own.
Oh, delightful.
Yeah.
I see. Laurel is taking the "if you can't beat him, join him" approach.
Yeah.
Good call.
I can keep up with you.
Oh, it doesn't have dire wolf here. What the H
I'm
mean?
looking. I can do it. Wait, can I?
What's its CR?
1.
1? Oh, I think you
I
can.
think I can only do half.
You know what? Oh, if you can only do half, then yeah.
Let me pause the whole stream so I can figure out what I can be.
Laurel's just like, "Can I be a wolf? Am I ready for that commitment?"
Nope, I can only be half. So regular wolf.
All right.
Because I know Laura likes usually being a bear, so this is
as a woof, you can travel 40 feet as well, so you can actually bolt forward. When you transform into a wolf, there's something in the howls that catches in your ears. I need you to make a charisma saving throw.
Okay.
Roll them bones.
Charisma. Am I charismatic?
I don't know why I rolled, but I did.
I don't know. You like
I just like rolling dice.
I'm used to Ollie being like a charismatic powerhouse. 1.
What?
I'm not
no.
charismatic at all.
Oh no.
Whoa.
You feel the rays of the moon affecting you as well. Or it might be the moon, it might be the sound. Either way, you lose track of trying to stop Dawn, and like you become almost single-minded in running the path she's trying to run. You hear something in those howls calling you. There's one that is different from all the others. One is a call. The rest are answers.
Ooh.
I'm going. I'm running. Quick.
All right. 40 feet forward, because I believe it's an action for you to wild shape. Just running pell-mell.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm running the same direction, so am I chasing Dawn? Am I going to the thing? Who knows?
I think you're not quite caught up to them yet because you only move 40 feet, but you're very close. All right, it is now Dawn's turn, and seeing that there is a hindrance, she is going to turn around. I feel like I'm cheating using the same dice, so I'm going to try a different d20. See if maybe that one's slightly less on fire.
Lord power is within you.
Purple. Purple's a good Dawny color. Yeah, purple. Oh my god.
Oh, no.
That's another 18. Alright, so what happens is she turns around and bites the length of rope. And she does get it. So let's see what the damage that she deals is. How much damage do wolves do with their bite? I believe the length of rope has like 10 hit points.
Wow, they're tough.
She shears through it.
Oh no!
Yeah, so
Your magical rope, no!
Obi, you were yanked, and then you have this moment of like you're flying, and then just face plant.
Oh no!
Namaya, I am going to grant you a dex saving throw to see if maybe you do not end up on your ass with all the effort you were exerting.
Wait, I am Circle of the Moon.
You are Circle?
So
I thought you were Circle of the Land.
Nope.
I always mess that up. You're right, it is. So actually, you passed.
Yay!
God. Don't
my
you
dex
know?
save was 9, so I think that's bad.
Yeah, you go tumbling head over heels backwards. And the two wolves, let's see, that was Dawn's turn. And Obi's face down, Sally's far behind, Namaya's down. The two wolves just bolt through the crag, through the gorge, into the forest beyond.
Good plan, Laurel. We'll catch up.
Laurel, as you are just wild-shaped, would you... I think it'd be fair to grant you like another saving throw to maybe stop being a wolf.
I don't think he'll realize
He doesn't
there's
want to.
anything but his own will putting in there.
Okay, all right.
He's not
I respect it.
100%.
So
Laurel's
You-
just a wolf life, alright?
you and Dawn are just running through the forest, having a wolfy time.
Yeah. In fact, he loves Dawn so much he'll just like tackle her in a playful way, like "Yay,
She reciprocates.
yay!"
Yeah.
Let's have a fun time rolling around in the leaves and stuff.
But there's definitely an urgency to something. Something is calling you guys through the forest.
Okay, but has Laurel ever received an urgency and thought it urgent?
Huh?
Has Laurel ever received an urgency and thought it urgent?
It's that's true, but there's something about this. You still feel like
I'll
compelled.
only play for 5 minutes.
Well, Dawn is definitely,
I'm-
bolting, so.
Chasing after her and bothering her. Like, hey,
Eventually,
like,
eventually she bites your scruff and just carries you.
Rude. Rude.
But the rest of you are now lost in the dust.
Aw.
Well, shucks.
Yeah, Oberon's
Hate-
just.
You hate to s-
Oberon did not move. After let go and he's just staying there. He's just a little. He's like
Sally
it's not
and
fair. Everyone got to turn into wolves, and I'm just here.
Sally and Namaya,
Nothing.
Oberon appears to be dead.
I just stayed there. But I'm kind of tantruming. I'm really not. I'm not at all happy about the situation at all because it
I
looked
would-
like I had done something really awesome. And then,
Oh, you had. It was
There were-
great.
yeah, and then now it's just been taken away from me, and so I'm having a little bit of a tantrum.
I'll go console Obi, and it's definitely not at all me. Just trying to catch my breath because I'm an out of shape nerd.
Sally's
Or
butt is jiggling with
scholar.
every bouncy step.
Yay.
Hey, those library chairs are hard. You gotta have some padding.
That's how come she studies so good.
Yeah, it's basic facts.
All right,
So-
Namaya, what are you doing?
Well, she's gonna gather herself up, and then I guess.
You can see the wolves are a lost cause. They have bolted.
Well, but I have survival, so we could try and track them.
Yeah,
That
they
is
are.
true.
They are giant wolves crashing through forest
Also-
and or mountains. We could probably track them.
You can see that at least Dawn, with her huge claws and heavy wolfish werewolf body, is making no effort to hide her tracks. You think tracking her is definitely possible.
As much as Laurel babbles in real life, he's probably howling as much.
Oh
Just being
yeah.
like,
Well,
"This
it's
is
a compulsion. The full moon. There's this guy calling you for some reason.
Yeah.
Like,
He's just seeing how many howls he can make.
yeah. You're all the awooing.
Yeah, so it's not too hard to follow.
Nikki would be proud.
I would like to. I like the idea of doing our survival checks to try and track them. They're definitely a lost cause. Can we take like 10 minutes to catch our breath and or recharge our HP?
Yeah. I mean, it's Dungeons and Dragons. You can do whatever you want.
Yeah, I'm gonna continue to lay here face down on the ground.
Yeah,
Crying.
Oberon's gotta.
I will
Oberon's
say-
gotta work through some stuff.
I will say the myriad of wolven howls has not abated. You
Mhm.
don't think it's the safest thing to just plant yourself next to the road and have a camp about it. You might want to find like a tree house or.
I was
or
gonna
a
say, can we just
cliff
climb a
edge or
tree and
something.
just like take a breath?
You can try, yeah. There's you pass through the gorge track, and Nemaya, you're tracking at this point, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you don't even need to roll to see that this is a well-traveled path, but not by humanoid feet. You see many, many paw prints.
Ooh, puppy farm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh wait, I think those are bad.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, web farms are bad.
Ooh, puppy kingdom.
Yeah.
Puppy Palooza. I love it.
Yay!
Happy world.
Puppy fest.
But once you're through the mountains, it takes a little bit of time, like walking or jogging through. There is just forest on the other side, so it's not too much more effort to find yourselves a tree that you think will support you guys.
Yeah, a scouting tree. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go scout for like, I don't know, 10 minutes. Take
Amaya,
a power
carry
scouting
me.
nap.
Carry me, Nemaya. I don't want to walk anymore.
I just imagine just Oberon being dragged by the scruff of his neck. Like,
Oh,
okay.
okay.
I don't want to do this anymore.
They seem happy. Let them go.
Oh, I do have a tail, so you could just drag me by my tail too.
Oh, that's true. A thin, whippy little tail.
Yeah, I've
Why
got
you
that
whip his
weird
bow with his tail
tail.
and they'll just walk
Yeah,
right
he's got a built-in whipping implement for you.
Go.
Pretty sure I've seen that in a cartoon where they take the mouse's tail and smack his
Oh,
butt.
absolutely.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Same.
All right. Dawn, are you picking up Oberon?
You have a nasty cough about it.
I'm reaching my arms out to you with grabby hands, and I go, please carry me. I don't
Okay,
want
Nemaya's just gonna like tuck him under her arm and keep walking.
Oh, that's not how I want to be carried.
Oh, well.
I
If
think
Dawn
it's-
were
I think
here.
I think it's the right way.
Yeah.
All right, so you are going through the forest. You do find that there is a particularly thick tree. You know, in Breath of the Wild, when you see a tree that's like the branches all kind of go out at that right angle to get you a spot to sit at the top, it's kind of like that.
Yeah.
So you can feasibly climb it and hang out in there and not have to worry about wolves, which, to your understanding, have a very difficult time ascending trees in a vertical fashion.
On account of they don't have thumbs.
Yeah.
They're afraid of heights. They don't like to climb trees.
Somewhere Laurel's
they do
focused
something
on
else to
its
trees.
thumbs.
Yeah, a short rest would be a smart idea, I think. Nemaya's not full of hit points right now.
Yeah, I'm at like half health, so
Oberon's actually the healthiest one, and he's the one that's like whining the most right now.
That's true.
oh baby,
I think
oh.
Laurel's got like 19 hit points, but she's having a good time.
All right.
I think I'm gonna save my last hit die because I'm at 27 now. I might need that later.
Okay. So about halfway through your short rest, you the howling that you have kind of gotten used to, you realize now is much closer. And there is like a pack of wolves traveling under your tree.
Oh boy.
I'm just imagining like Princess Mononoke, but instead of boars, it's wolf.
Hey, wolves are also in that movie, so.
Oh yeah. Descending even after your short rest does not seem wise. Not on
Yeah,
the night of
probably
this
not.
full moon.
Should have been +6. So 15, 17, 18, 19.
So you guys rest and
We're conducting research to see where the wolves are all going and how much they don't like eating us.
Oberon, you're a half elf, right? Oberon, you're a half elf, right?
Oh, yes, I am.
Okay. All right. So you only need 4 hours of rest to have a long rest.
Yeah, I'm all good.
Yeah.
My ancestry makes me not even. It says no sleep, but I'm not.
Yeah. You do anyway, though.
Half brat.
Yeah.
Man.
After I have my nap, though, I do feel a little better, and I don't feel so whiny. I just,
It's like grumpus.
Laurel,
yeah.
Yeah.
you don't know how long you've traveled with Dawn. It's very difficult to exhaust you as the full moon and the howls of your wolven brethren are driving you to a fevered madness.
Laurel
Where you're
knows
just
how
having
many
fun.
sticks he's picked up and decided that's a better one, and then he takes that one. It's 9.
And it's like, but you running, so you have to do it fast. So you dive onto it, bite, roll, and then get back up, and you're like, "This is the best stick."
And then a couple minutes later, there's a better one. They're very increasingly bigger and bulkier.
So Laurel has a like a 6-foot long branch in his mouth. As into view comes the forest comes to a like a tapering end. There's still trees scattered, and there's mountains in the distance all around, and but there's a single hill before there is well, you can't see that far, so there's just like a hill, and on top of it is a structure. Yeah. It's a little hard to see in the nights, and I'm just gonna give you a little bit of a visual here.
I'll take it. I'll take that visual.
There we go.
Wait,
We're waiting for a stream. Sorry.
Is it on your screen?
It is, but
Is there anything else?
no, it's OBS right now.
I'll just look.
Look at that frosty ass castle.
Oh, nice.
I'm ready to Elsa.
And you, as you're running, you can see that Dawn is making her way for this castle. Like, she's not going around to the causeway. She's starting to leap up the rocks at the base of this little, it's not quite a mountain. It's not that tall, but it's pretty defensible hill. There's a reason this was built there. Yeah, it's like a foothill. And, it's not, well, it might be snowing. It is post-Halloween after all. Yeah, your fur is doing good for you as you run.
Oh, good.
And you're just starting to get sick of running.
Gosh. I wish I could have that ball that I had, but it's used to my body.
You are the call that is coming, that is summoning these wolves, is coming from this castle. Would you like to ascend the same way Dawn is, like straight up the mountain? You might have a harder time with that because you're in your wolf way, or you could try to go around into the second foothill across the causeway.
But
okay.
Provided that fails, so the other way.
Let's see. Let's just let's give you a roll and see how well you do.
Right.
I think would it be athletics if you're in a wolf's body?
It would be my wolf's athletics, so let me see what that is.
Yeah. If that doesn't have the athletics skill, then it'd just be strength.
It does not. It just has strength.
All right. Give us a strength then.
Okay.
See
Wow,
if we
this
can
is
get
not
up
very
there.
strong.
Well, it's a wolf. It's fast. It's not super tough.
8.
You struggle to get up the.
Slow down.
Yeah, eventually
He's
Dawn.
like grabbing her tail with his teeth, like stop.
So single-mindedly, Dawn is just jumping up these rocks. So you're hanging by her tail, and every once in a while, ow, against the mountainside. Eventually, she gets to the castle wall, and that is when your grip fails you, and you are left. You don't start tumbling down the mountain, but you are left on the ground floor as she bounds up the brickwork.
You can at least help me. Why
and
are you
eventually
Rude.
disappears over the edge.
Follower.
Well,
Do my best to.
as a wolf, you can't climb the wall.
Oh. Well, I'll go up. Or I'll go around.
You go around, you just trot.
The whole time it's just like, couldn't wait for me. It's so rude. You're a rude wolf. How come you're a nice lady and a rude wolf? I'm not a rude person because I become a wolf.
So you are sticking in your wolf form?
Yeah. It's growling all the way up.
All right.
Just trotting up with a little extra stank on it. Like,
let's see.
he's having too much fun as a wolf to even think about being a person yet.
That's adorable.
Yay.
All right. Eventually, you will find.
Also, where are my other friends?
Am I on? I'm not on.
Why can't they turn into wolves? Idiots.
They're so slow with their people.
Stupids. Oh, that's not the one. I'm trying to find what the entrance looks like.
I should have been a bear. They could ride on me.
I don't think you'd
My
be as
plan
fast as a bear, but
I was gonna try and jump on Dawn if I had a chance and just ride her.
Ride me!
All right, so while Laurel is trotting around the castle looking for the entryway, the three of you up in your tree, you're starting to feel like exhausted. You've been out literally all night, and you've been in battles upon battles. You've paid literal blood to the Carnivorous Carnival, and the flow of wolves, it does slow to a trickle, but it's never so empty that you feel safe, like getting down and starting to try and track Dawn. You can try, or as time has already passed, you might want to just go for the full-on long rest.
Well, we've got our white noise wolf machine on. We might as well just take a nap.
That also, the howls eventually do start to die down. But you can hear them crunching, branches underfoot and rustling grass and stuff as they go by under you.
Yeah, otherwise our little throats would get sore. All night long.
They would for a long time, but not all night. So what would you guys like to do?
In this situation, a long rest might be, because rages, spells.
I have literally
those are both good things for us to have in this situation. I think.
I have no spell thoughts left.
I mean, the problem is that I think, unless this is affecting Laurel to the point that
He's a strong boy.
is able to stay in wolf form for long. He's going to turn back human at some point after 2 or 3 hours.
After an hour, that's true. Oh boy.
Oh dear.
Laurel loves trees, though. He'll be fine.
Yeah, he'll be fine.
Yeah, I don't think there's much.
Laurel loves being eaten by wolves. It'll be fine.
Well, this is the first time I've wild checked those adventures I have to.
I vote for long rest. We know where the wolves are going, and we know where Dawn was going, and maybe even after we take a nap, she'll be less bitey. And
I will hope.
All right. So the three of you are initiating a long rest?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay. Then you wrap yourselves as best you can, huddle together, and you will have to take watch to make sure no one falls out of the tree, but you are able to begin to recover. Laurel,
Yay!
that is a detail that had been brought to my attention, that you can only remain in your wild shape for an hour.
Yep.
So as you find the entrance, you don't hear the call anymore.
Huh.
And you reach up to scratch a ear, and it's not pointy.
It's my foot.
It's not.
It's a human foot.
It's an elf foot.
Oh, it's an elf foot.
Yeah, you are no
It's a humanoid
longer.
foot.
You are no longer a wolf. It took.
Is there any trees around?
No, you're in the castle.
I'm in the
area.
castle.
Oh, well, no, you're on the outside wall, finding the entrance to the castle.
Can I hit it with some spider climb?
Yeah,
And just get up somewhere really fast?
yeah, totes.
Alright, I'll do that.
Okay, so you just
Just,
right up
Because
the.
they can't climb.
Huh? Oh, yeah, the wolves. That's true. So when you climb over the edge of the outer wall, you are met with this stunning sight. This castle is huge. It's tall. There's one tower that's like stupidly tall. It's like ridiculous. Yeah. There are humanoid shapes all over it, and it's only because of your dark vision that you can see that these are gargoyles.
Oh.
Yeah, they are, and whether they're animate or not is not something you can discern.
He goes up and pokes one.
Okay, it is not. It does not
Okay.
animate even as you poke it, but it has this ghastly face, this
He pats
horns,
on
and it's they're all terrible looking. They're not all this like a uniform type. Some of them are winged, some of them are bestial. There seems to be a lupine theme amongst a lot of them, but not a lot else unifies them.
Just laughing at what Cotton said.
What did Cotton say?
Coin gargoyles at us.
Oh.
Oh my day, warriors by night.
Is there any like vantage point where all the wolves are like gathering that I can see? Like, if I get on a certain part of roof, can I like look down as to like?
Oh yeah. You don't actually. They
No?
seem to be when you do see them filtering in, they're going to like in the castle.
Oh.
They're like going. They're not going up the front door, but they're going like off to the sides and around it, and you don't see where they're congregating.
Well, for a minute, he'll watch him go in, like perch on the edge with his mouth open, like like he's a gargoyle. He's trying to coordinate really well.
Oh, I love Laurel so much.
Damn it, Laurel.
They don't suspect a thing.
Yeah, your stealth is impeccable. They don't seem to suspect a thing.
Right. I'm a great gargoyle.
Eventually, they stop filtering in.
When he sees him about done, he's gonna follow the last one to where it's going. Like,
Okay.
as far as he
You
can see it.
hop down. Well, you spider
I'll spider climb down the wall.
and one is just sort of
Very like Dracula style.
they're a lizard-like fashion. Yeah. So this last wolf has stopped before like the front gate, and I will show you an image of that
show me that
momentarily. But you see that there is a person there holding some sort of you assume it to be like a candelabra because it has 3 points of light, 3 small points of light, and it's just holding it up. The figure itself is hooded and cloaked, and
It's got a lot of dogs.
yeah, you can't see any features. And as you climb down the wall and the wolf goes trotting up to this person, you have the uncanny sense that you are locking eyes under that dark hood with this person.
He like squints and then like waves.
A large hand comes out and waves.
Oh.
Just one wave though. It's very graceful. It's not like a hello, you know.
Hello, welcome to my evil
And
castle.
He thinks in his brain, and he holds up 2 fingers and says, in his brain, how many fingers am I holding up?
Your gestures haltingly mimicked.
He hides behind his other hand and adds a 3rd finger to see if they can just see it or if they can read his mind.
The hand lowers and the figure begins to step towards you.
He scrambles farther up the wall.
It is not
Backwards.
it's that's creepy. It's not like running towards you. It's not you don't get the well, go ahead and make an insight
Especially
check.
because he's
if you
got
wanna.
that like long hair that's definitely going downward over
Oh
his
yeah,
face.
yeah, but it's blonde, so
Yeah, that's fine. What What's
Just
it for
fitting
making?
in with her.
Just an insight check, just to see how intimidated
I'm
you are
very
by this
excited.
creature.
What?
Oh god.
I'm a one machine.
It's a monster. It's huge. You didn't realize how big it is.
He scrambles up the wall.
He's like real tall. If a he, it might be a she, but it's like
Leave me alone.
8 feet tall.
He's picking bits of moss off the wall and throwing it at it.
And the hand comes up, and then to shield itself, and then it says,
I'm not a dog. You don't want me.
"I will not harm you."
Are you sure?
If you
He's got a clump of moss ready to throw it.
if you mean me no harm, I will not harm you.
Okay, so I don't. If you're gonna give my friend Dawn back,
I don't know of
she's
anyone.
she's a wolf. She just ran in there.
Come, let us find her then.
Okay, he drops down off the wall.
Okay.
He cartwheels down the wall and drops on his feet. Ta-da! Holds up his hands like he did something really cool.
Most impressive.
Thank you.
Please, come in.
Okay.
And the figure
It's
turns
pretty cold out here now. They don't have
and
any.
starts to step
fur.
into the... I need to get the freaking picture of its...
Do you know how much colder it is when you don't have fur? It's really cold.
The
Did you
cold
know
never
that?
bothered me anyway.
It bothers me. I have to look at all my skin. It's not very furry.
My skin.
What brought you here?
Following my friend Dawn.
Uh,
It's, what's crazy? I didn't know she was a wolf. She didn't tell me that whole time. I thought she just had the ears.
Cut to. Your guys, well, I guess actually... Yeah, I'm going to cut to you guys because I don't want to
This
focus
is
on
the
the
Laurel show.
Laurel.
This is Guilty Treasure.
I will say, Laurel, you're feeling exceptionally tired after all
I'm
this.
so tired.
You might even pass out.
He's whining a little bit as they're strolling in. Do you have some water and maybe snacks?
Yes, my servants can
It's
prepare.
not dog food.
My servants can prepare food that is to your liking.
Awesome. Anyway, back to them.
Pumpkin pie.
So I'm gonna, in order to keep the timing kind of consistent, I'm gonna assume you pass out.
Yeah, he goes in and eats whatever they give him,
Yeah,
provided it's not a bunch of.
it's actually really good.
Yay!
It's like fine dining.
nice, and
Yeah.
he'll pick a big fluffy place to.
All right, I imagine
Hopefully if
Laurel
there's
just
wolves.
right on the table. So about dawn.
Yeah,
All right.
the chair is really comfy, so he just kind of slumps down.
Yeah. It is a big comfy chair, tall backed. There's a fireplace, but
His
it's
head
not.
straight back, yeah.
Dawn approaches, and I don't mean our friend.
Oh,
I
darn
mean
it! I thought I figured it out.
morning. You three in the trees are awakened by
A stampede of roosters.
just the light of the sun filtering through the leaves. No matter where you lay, there's always one ray that's right on your eye. So it's just you can't possibly sleep in any later. And you all gain the benefits of a long rest.
Yay!
Even you, Laurel.
Yeah, it's a comfy chair. It'll be fun.
I feel ready to smash things again. I'm so excited.
Yes.
I'm no longer cranky.
So you guys can have a breakfast of Halloween candy.
Ooh.
And
Oh, yeah.
Delicious.
I love leftovers.
Pass the
I'm only
bucket.
having a gourmet meal. Ugh.
Pass the bucket, Namaya. Don't be stingy.
Yeah, your good berry machine isn't present.
No.
Yeah, I would say we probably sate ourselves on Halloween candy, and then once that's done, Sally would just jump down from the tree and be like, "Well, time to go find our friends. Hope they're not dead."
Me too.
All right,
This will be
so
fine.
as you are attempting to perform a survival check, or track them, I'm going to need a survival check. Who is proficient in survival?
Maya is proficient in
You're
survival.
not there, Laurel. Namaya is?
Oh,
Yes.
Good.
yes.
Sally and Obi, are you?
I'm checking. No, I'm not.
No.
I didn't think that was the case. So Namaya, you're gonna have to roll without the aid of your companions to see if you can find.
14.
Okay, 14's good. The tracks are trampled and spoiled, but luckily, probably due to her razor-sharp, dagger-like claws, Dawn appears to have left deep cuts into the living earth with each stride.
And
Yeah.
as if to confirm you're going in the right direction, there are several chewed sticks becoming bigger and bigger.
Eventually, you will notice that, yes, because Laurel's tracks are absolutely lost in the rest of the wolves' tracks. But Dawn, in particular, seems to have left a clear path for you to follow. And eventually, it does take you to the top of the forest. It takes a bit of going, and it's not always the fastest because you have to track. I would say around afternoon, you will eventually see in the distance the fog-shrouded castle. I'll put it on the stream again so y'all can see it.
Perpetually foggy.
Oh, Raven Perch is all about the perpetual fog.
We love the fog.
Yeah.
Hey, it didn't take long this time. Must have just been
Yeah.
a derp with.
I love it. I want to go there. It looks like a house that
It does.
someone would live.
Dawn is what?
No, I said it does. So I paused on it. Looks like a house.
Yeah, so you guys, you see that there are 2 foothills and in fact in the daylight you can see past it is a lake.
Ooh,
Yeah.
fancy.
With springs that feed it in from the mountains and a river that goes on off into the forest again. So and other than that it's just mountains and forest far as the eye can see.
So can we get up to the bridge that leads in? Assuming
Yes.
it's the same.
Climbing the mountain itself seems to be folly if you don't have huge werewolf claws, but there is a path to walk that leads up to the other foothill and the causeway across. That is the causeway, right? I'm pretty sure.
Not to interrupt.
Sure, what's up?
When I was watching everyone come in, did it look like they were mostly wolves or mostly werewolves?
Make a nature check.
Okay. Go ahead, sorry. It just occurred to me. Let me interrupt everything.
Sure. Oh, they're just climbing up the path right now, looking at the castle. And the closer you get,
14.
14?
Yeah.
You know that proper werewolves can assume a fully wolfish form.
Darn.
So just looking at them, you wouldn't really be able to tell if they were werewolves entirely.
Could be anything.
Yeah.
They're probably just wolves. He goes back to sleep.
He just sits up. Ah! They're probably just wolves.
Drops the fork.
So yeah, you find that this castle is immense. The structure's old, and as you approach across the bridge there, you can see that there are strong walls and towers. There are shapes that you will eventually see to be gargoyles all around.
Well, if anybody's gonna know about the wolves, I mean, this seems like a pretty good place to start.
Is the door? Is the gate closed or open?
It is a portcullis, and at the time, it is closed. So we're gonna leave you guys there for a sec, and we're gonna go back to Laurel. Laurel, it's afternoon when you wake up.
Yeah. He still has crumbs on the front of his shirt. He still has half of a banana.
You are
in his
actually in a bed.
Oh.
Yeah, in a very comfortable bed.
He wakes up very confused.
Yeah.
And he goes, "Where's my banana?" I was saying.
So, you wake up. You are not in your normal clothes.
Oh.
You are in a nightgown that's like old-timey, very comfortable.
Well, like a
nice
night shirt, not like a girly nightgown. Like
Yeah,
a
yeah.
shirt.
Well, it's hard to tell.
Unisex.
Yeah.
I definitely had one of those.
Definitely from
this one year.
definitely from the era of fashion when it was very masculine to have ruffles and bows.
Yeah. Laurel doesn't really mind. He's like,
Yeah.
Sign of power.
I guess they're washing my clothes. They were pretty dirty. I wolfed them up.
So you are in this room. Sunlight is filtering in through a it's not a stained glass window, but it has metal filigree and a nice pattern up the sides of the window. Everything here is very
Can I
ornate.
push it open?
You can.
How high up am I?
You are you're definitely not on the first floor. You estimate you might be on the third floor ish. So it's a bit of a ways down.
Laurel goes to the door and pushes
Okay.
it open as wide as he can.
The door does open. As you cross the way, you can see that there is the bed is a canopied,
Like a four-poster.
four-poster canopy. The fabric is old but well maintained, so it's still like it's vintage kind of look. And there is a night table beside it. There is a wardrobe there, and there is a chest at the foot of the bed.
So throw open the chest and see if his clothes are in there.
When you throw open the chest, you find that they are indeed. All of your possessions have been neatly placed inside.
Cool. He'll put his clothes in his backpack and just
All right.
throw open the door.
When you lift open the when you lift the bag out, the chest closes itself.
Oh, handy. He goes to call our name, and then he realizes he didn't ask the name of this host. So he just says,
Once you open the
Hey!
door, you can see that you see, well, let's I'm trying to think. It's hard to run two vantage points at
Sorry.
once. So you open the door. There is a red carpet along the gray stone, like tile floor, maybe marble. The inside is just as kind of gothic and ornate as the outside.
Nice.
Perhaps even more so because they don't have to worry about the weather and stuff, but there's like figures carved out of stone all over the place.
his feet would be very cold, but he goes barefoot all the time, so.
Okay. Yeah, you
he goes,
find...
Hey! Clokey. Clokey caretaker. I'm awake.
I'm gonna... Damn it. I didn't have a voice prepared and I need one. Sorry. As you say, "Hey, Clokey, I'm awake," you hear someone say, "That is not his name."
Oh, what is it? Oh, and what's yours?
You turn around, you don't see anybody.
Oh, who said that?
Also, where are you?
I am here.
He does a full turnaround. Where?
The wall.
You're the wall?
No, that's where I am.
Are you sure?
I am.
He looks around again.
On that note, the rest of the party, you are faced with a portcullis. It's large iron, not impenetrable, but doesn't, and not sure how you tell me how you're going to get through this.
Oh,
Is
boy.
there
Well, first thing, I'm gonna look for like a bell or a gong or something.
Yeah. The medieval doorbell.
I'm
Yeah,
trying
ring-a-ding-ding.
to exercise my my knowledge of medieval castles, and I don't think they would have a doorbell.
Can we
I
hit
think
the door?
Is there anybody manning the ramparts? Anybody
Not that you
who,
see.
Oh.
As far as I know about Gothic stuff, it's their big bell. Ding dong,
Well, I mean,
ding dong.
I could
We could
try
shout.
Okay.
lifting up the portcullis, I suppose. I don't know how heavy it is.
It's big.
I wholeheartedly support Nemaya doing a feat of strength.
Yeah.
So they really did have bells.
Yeah, it's like like a church bell where it's a big rope and you ding dong it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. It appears that there is one of those then.
Brush up on your castle history.
Would you like to ring it?
Castle girl.
Yep. We'll ring the bell.
Okay.
Ring it. Oh, we're gonna.
So-
we're gonna ring it.
Ball.
Real hard.
Huh?
I said, we're gonna ring that thing over and over and over again.
Eventually, actually, after the
Laura
first
wakes up,
couple, you hear a voice at the top of the rampart say, "Hey, stop that! Stop that right now! Who are you?
Oh, hi.
What are you doing here?"
We're looking for a friend who became a wolf and came this way.
And then another friend who also became a wolf and went this way. Have you seen any wolves?
Yes, we have plenty of wolves. We do not need any more. Go away.
We're not wolves. We're people, and
We're here to collect our wolves.
Yeah, we'll take some of your wolves, the ones we want, and you can keep the rest.
Yeah. Good deal.
Why should we give you any of our wolves?
I don't think they're your wolves. They're our wolves.
At least 2 of them are.
Yeah.
Just line your wolves up for us, and we'll tell you which one's ours.
I would like a persuasion check from somebody.
Oh, I'm so good with persuasion. It's like one of my
Someone
things.
other than Maya should roll that.
Oh, my persuasion is so good. So let me do that.
Yeah,
I've been waiting for a moment for me to use persuasion.
It's time.
It is time. My time is come.
Pretty, please.
Okay. Make sure I got my stuff. 27.
27.
You have +9 persuasion. Holy
Yeah,
cow!
that's what I said. I've been waiting. There has not been a persuasion moment for me. I've been waiting for it because it's like my highest thing right now.
Please don't murder us.
Yeah, we haven't.
Couldn't have said that.
We haven't had a lot of persuasion ability in our because we spent all October and Halloween months. But anyway,
It's true. So I've been
it
waiting for my
says-
time to persuade.
well, I suppose we do have a surplus of wolves. I was going to tell you to go away, or I would taunt you a second time.
Oh no!
But you make a convincing argument. Now, one thing, we have problems with hunters here. You're not hunters, correct?
Oh no!
Then
We're
leave
just
your
friends.
weapons at the door.
Weapons. I don't like that.
Aww.
Okay, well, I'm gonna still bring one in. I'm just sneaking it in. 'Cause I'm gonna stick it. Well, I'm not wearing pants, so I can't stick it in my pants, but I can definitely hide it in some sort of way. Because I'm not going in there without a weapon.
Make it. Well, you have your
I have deception.
sword
I
hilt.
have yeah. So I
So-
can easily hide it. And then
Yeah.
Swallow yours. Become a sword swallower.
there are other holes I can put it in. Just chill.
So you keister that sword hilt,
Yeah.
The old
Yeah.
plug sword. I love it.
all 8 inches of it.
No.
Very stiff walking into the castle.
Yeah, why not?
I feel like Obi can take it.
Oh yeah.
All right. Have you put your weapons down? I cannot
Oh, yeah.
actually see down there.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Trust us. Believe me. They're.
Totally. Tell you guys.
All right. But there's going to be hell to pay if you have not told the truth.
As long as they don't do one of those sort of checks, I'm fine.
The sound of chains and heavy gears grinding it reaches your ears as the portcullis first trembles and then slowly begins to lift. So slowly you feel a little inclined to just kind of duck down and, go under it. And you are greeted with an empty courtyard and the castle gate that looks like they're not still okay. I gotta be careful not to accidentally show things on the stream that I'm not meaning to. So the castle entrance looks like this. It'll pop up eventually. And it is quite empty.
Oh, nice. It's very
Ooh. Yeah, I love it.
It's incredibly ornate. Everything about it is very, very artistic.
I like it. I think it's cool. I'm marveling.
Oohing and eyeing.
I'm making a note to ask someone who isn't that snooty guard where the heck we are, because this place is really pretty and I want to sketch it.
You don't see any guards. Excuse me.
Oh.
Even the disembodied voice remains disembodied. You don't see anybody.
Oh, well, it's nice to live in a world where we don't need so much security.
You hear a bit distant, "Are you through yet? I want to close the gate."
Yeah, we're through. Thanks.
Excellent. And then you hear the portcullis trundle back down. Yeah, just like
Clang.
that. And you are now in the courtyard leading up into the main entrance of this place.
Ooh. Ah. Oh,
Yeah.
well, I guess if there's nobody around, I guess we should probably just keep on marching and just be like, okie doke, we're coming on in.
Did you guys actually leave your weapons behind? I need to know.
I definitely did.
Not so much, no.
No.
Oberon's the only one that stealthily hit it.
Keister
Any
is
excuse
right.
over on.
Probably unnecessarily, but he wanted to do it that way anyways.
All
I
right.
definitely was the only honest person here and left my 2 daggers and my crossbow.
But you have claw daggers, so
Oh, yeah.
yes.
And she also has magic powers. So,
Yeah.
Can't take that away from her.
Laurel,
Yes.
eventually you are drawn to the voice, and you
He just follows
see
it.
that
the
they're
stairs.
in the over here. Eventually,
cold?
you cold it warmer, cold. Just look over here. Hello, here. Hi, here I am.
Listen,
Eventually,
yeah.
you turn to a little alcove in the wall, and you can see standing there what appears to be. How familiar would you say Laurel is with the concept of a construct?
Not at all.
Not at all. Then what you see is a small metal creature.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
It was old as time.
I don't know what you're talking about. It's well, now you fucked me up.
His name is Clocksworth.
No, it's a compass.
Ah.
And it says, "Yes, hello, over here," with spindly little metal arms that end in like little needle-like digits, kind of. Yeah. And
Oh, you're so small.
maybe you're just over large. Ever think of that?
I sure hope so.
Yes. Well. Hello. Who are you?
I'm Laurel. Who are you? And did you watch it when I was sleeping? Did you watch it when I got naked?
No, that would be one of the servants, probably.
Oh.
On the master's request, you understand.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Who did it?
Who did what?
The changing.
The servants.
But which name?
Let me bring up my table of names.
He doesn't care. He's moved on. Anyways,
Okay.
what are you, anyways?
Me?
Yeah.
I am a person, just like you.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
How come you're so small and made of parts?
Maybe I prefer to be this way. You don't know.
I don't know. Except I know that I've never seen anybody that looks like you. So I guess they don't.
I was animated, my dear boy. Girl, one of those. Which are you?
I think I'm a boy.
I don't think so.
Oh.
But whatever you say.
Well, I think you're small, so. Take that.
I am as my creator made me.
Me too.
Oh. Well, I suppose that's fair.
Yeah.
Would you do me a kindness and help me down?
Oh, sure. Laurel will just pick him up.
All right. Down.
So do you
No.
know? Just wait a second.
Uh,
So he has him right up to his face. So do you know where this is?
he's like rubbing fog off his metallic sheen.
Laurel will take a sleeve and wipe it.
Like,
way too roughly.
Stop
There you
that!
go. Now you're
Stop.
shiny.
He's like slapping your hand away. That is quite enough.
Yeah, because you're shiny now. So do you know where we are anyways?
You are in the castle of Master Lycargus.
Like,
Ooh.
Master what?
Lycargus.
Lycargus.
Lycurgus.
That's not gonna help. I'll call him Lyke.
I don't think he'd appreciate that.
It's fine. Lycargus.
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 You may refer to him as by his last name if you wish.
What is it?
Beowulf.
Oh, like a bay and a wolf.
Yes, a bay, as you say.
Yeah, like watery wolves.
You can see he's trying.
I'll just remember it because I'll think of a wolf that's wet.
His little mechanical face is like straining as he's trying to think of what like a waterfront bay has to do with a wolf, but you know, whatever helps you.
He's wet. It's fine. Anyway,
it is pretty foggy. It makes sense.
How come all the wolves are coming here? Because my friend Dawn.
I don't think I'm at liberty to discuss those matters.
How come?
Well, they're a bit personal to the master, you see.
Oh.
Yes.
So I should ask him. Or her.
Yes, you may ask. You may speak with the master, and whatever details he deigns to tell you is his own business. Come, I'll lead you to him. That was the request.
Listen, or you could tell me, and I won't tell him you told me. You can whisper it. He puts it right next to his ear.
No. No, I think not.
Well, come on.
Well, the master created me, you see.
Now, aren't we? You can tell me.
The master created me.
Oh.
He used his magic to animate me. I was once just a dull pile of gears and other non-living material.
How do you make you with his little paws?
Magic. I just said magic.
Oh. But you're so tiny.
Ah, you are insulting my honor, young woman.
First of all,
Namaya, Sally, and Oberon. I was like, not Don, the other one. What would you guys like to do?
I guess we'll walk inside if there's nobody going to stop us. It's cold. I want to be inside where it's warm.
Yeah,
All right.
I'm gonna immediately start calling. I want to be
Also-
calling for Laurel and Dawn. Like,
Okay.
hey,
You know, how's
Dawn,
this usually?
here, girl, Laurel. Woo. Where are you? Come on out.
So, as you
They're
guys...
probably in the kitchen. We should definitely go find the kitchen and eat something that's not Halloween candy or funnel cake that's cursed.
Yeah. Cursed funnel cake. We've had your share. In fact, your stomach kind of hurts, Sally.
I could really go for something meat or vegetable or fruit.
Then you step up into the grand foyer, and as you're calling Laurel,
Uh-huh.
you actually hear that faintly.
Hello?
Oberon, you hear a faint hello?
Like, I'm gonna try and call a little louder, whistle
He'll
a little
run
bit,
out
you know.
carrying the construct.
No, put me down!
My friends are here!
I said put me down!
Look at this weird thing!
Lucius, help me!
Look at this weird thing! He runs out, he's holding out his hands in front of him.
You have to run along the path and then down some stairs, and then there's another foyer, and you have to go down the stairs from that, and that is where you see the grand foyer, where your three friends are. Namaya, Oberon, and Sally. You can see Laurel.
You just hear a distance.
Laurel, what's up?
He
Hey.
is in a very fancy... Yeah, first you don't recognize him because he's in a very fancy nightgown. And
Laurel, I
his
love
hair
your
is,
dress.
like, meticulously brushed.
Thank
it's very
you.
nice looking.
Yeah, his hair's not usually that brushed. Thank you, they gave it to me. I bet if you asked for one, you could have one.
Aw, that would be nice.
He is also holding a small brass construct creature.
Thrust it at you. Look!
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's such a cool construct. Sally would
he's
definitely know what one of those
indignant
is.
now, and he says, "I have had quite enough of this. Put me down at once."
This is,
You talk.
and he stares at it for a minute and he says, "What's your name?"
Well, since you said a comparison, I can't get any other name in my mind, so... Cogson!
This is Cogson. He pats him on the head very patronizingly. Going,
Stop
He's
that!
so small!
He actually kind of scratches you a little bit, accidentally with his, like... Because his fingers
Rude,
come to
he, like,
needle-type
swats him.
points.
Where he approximates of what would be.
Alright, you knock him off your hand, and he goes tumbling down,
I'll catch him.
screaming. Make a...
Actually, I'll pull the skirt out of the nightgown and catch him in that.
Alright, make a dex check with advantage.
Okay.
Just because we gotta
Just
roll.
for fun.
Because it's a game, and we like to adjudicate things via dice.
Yeah.
Nobody make a counter of how often I say the word adjudicate.
It's a good word,
Don't
alright?
worry.
I swear I will use another one when I learn another one.
12 and 17.
17. Alright, you do. You manage to catch him, and he starts rolling towards the other side of your gown, and as you
Assuming
equal
underwear was provided, I'm not flashing anybody.
it. Well, were you wearing underwear when you came?
Yeah.
Okay, then you, yeah.
He's not
And,
an animal. I mean, not right now.
Well, not right now.
But
And this little construct tries to stabilize itself.
He does like a trampoline, whoop, and
Ah!
bumps him up and catches him. I got you.
This is most humiliating.
Is it because you're small?
And
I'd make you bigger if I could. I don't know how.
I am as the master designed me. I'm perfect as I am.
You sure are. He ruffles his top.
Who are the rest of you?
These are my friends.
These are your friends. Are you responsible for this rapscallion?
Well, not responsible in that sense of the word, but they
kinda
Dawn's responsible for me, but she's not here. So
responsible-ish.
I mean, I'm not going to spank her. That's not like my thing. But
That's Dawn's job, and she's a wolf now,
Yeah.
so
Yeah,
you've got a
yeah.
problem there.
I'm not really allowed to spank Laurel.
He was raised by
yes,
wolves.
you're not.
You can't.
I mean, I could try, but Laurel's too cute to spank, so I just don't.
I disagree with that.
Yeah, that's rude.
I'm
I
not
think
saying you're not cute.
I think you're really cute. And he rubs his face.
In my experience, and stop that. In my experience, cuteness has the inverse effect.
Oh, so you probably get spanked all the time.
You put me down at once.
But the crowd is so far, and you're so. I don't want to kick you.
Lucius, where are you?
That's
Is
That's not
Lucius
the
your
master.
dad? I want to meet the guy who made you.
The master made me, and he is expecting the company of this miscreant. And he points a needly finger at Laurel.
Oh,
Let's go have some words with this master then.
Yeah,
Yes, that would be most good, and you can put me down.
Please lead
Okay,
us to
just
Mr. the
point
Master.
to where Likey is, and we'll see him.
No, put me down.
No.
Well, then I guess we'll stay here in the Grand Foyer, won't we?
Okay, then I'll just stay here too.
Just
Good,
put
I
him
like the
down,
Grand Foyer.
Laurel.
It's a pretty grand foyer.
Yes, thank you.
You're welcome.
Laurel, just
It
put him
doesn't belong
down.
to you anyway, so
Well, I call this place home. I am key
you're not
in
the-
maintaining it.
you're not the master's. You
Can I
because you
can I
raped
kick
you.
Laurel in the butt to make him throw?
Yes. Kick Laurel.
Ow.
You're not too cute to kick. Too cute to spank.
So,
I'll just put him gently on the ground.
all right. Thank you. And he
You're
adjusts.
not welcome.
He adjusts a scope that is one of his eyeballs, and it's rather like a monocle adjusting.
Oh,
But the part extends out and then retracts as he adjusts it.
I bet you're slow because you're small, so it would have been faster if I was carrying you.
Might I have the pleasure of your names?
Sure, why
He
not?
is not looking at you, Laurel.
Well, decides to go in and not telling him.
I'm Sally, and not to brag, but I'm kind of a big deal when it comes to sorcery. I've totally almost made a construct once. It even it wiggled for like a second. It was really cool.
Sally, are you perhaps Salazar? I've heard of Salazar.
Yeah, no.
I've heard of Sally.
Yes.
Maybe you should know more people.
I thought you had a bit too many boobies to be Salazar. But magic mistakes happen, transformations and whatnot. Where is that Lucius?
Wait,
I thought
what's
we wanted
what's a Lucius?
Master
Lycurgus.
Lolo.
Master Lycurgus, the lord of this castle.
Oh.
Like
While they're talking, Sally's gonna pull up the map that we got a while ago and see if she
Alright.
can find if there's a Lycurgus manor or something on it at
Alright.
all.
Let's bring that up, why don't we?
oh boy.
Open. Oh boy, it's I've made that map quite a while ago. It's gonna be quite the trek to find it. But the short answer is no, you don't find. In fact, your best guess, make a survival check just to see if you can kind of figure out.
Oh, okay. You know I'm good at those.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Sure, 1 d20 plus 1. Hey, now what? Lots of great rolls this game. I love it. You love to see it.
Bulls.
Sally, you're like, what is this weird word? I don't understand anything here. And let me just I'm trying to make sure this is the right one. Yep.
What is it?
I am trying to show it to the chat. Sally, you can't make heads or tails of this map.
Oh boy.
It's like it suddenly became a different language.
That's so weird.
What?
I knew this thing worked before. What the heck?
Try
I
turning
don't
it the
know
other
any
way
of
up.
those letters.
But no, it is right side up.
You think you know how to hold a map, Sally. Don't
Yeah.
turn it over or anything.
I did go to sorcery school, Namaya. I know a thing or two about math. All right.
Yeah. So
Like-
you abandon all
Oh,
hope of
magic
figuring
map.
it out. Yeah, it changes.
Wow.
It probably got ruined at the carnival by that weird clown man who liked to jump off of things.
Whereas
Goopy
Oberon, Laurel, and maybe not Laurel, but maybe Laurel, and Namaya, you can see she's clearly holding it upside down.
Nah, it looks normal to me. Laurel's just recently grasped letters. So.
Huh?
Laurel has just recently grasped letters. So.
Oh no.
Adorable. But Cogson leads you with slow, tiny steps
Oh,
to
They're not
the.
slow, they're dignified.
I need to actually
dignified
find.
and slow.
He makes a show of doing like a fancy stride, which is even
I'm
slower.
picking him up.
No, put me down.
Nope, this is where we're going. Point which way to go.
Yeah, it's actually more dignified because you're using Laurel as a mount, Cogson. This is even more fancy.
Put me on your head.
I can't see
Put 'em
where
on
you're
your head,
pointing
put
in
'em on
front of my
your head,
head.
put 'em
Everyone
on your
else
head, put
can.
'em on your head.
Just say where, and he'll like walk really fast to show how much faster he is. He's like at a light jog
Alright,
even.
so if you were here, and then he actually points you. He points you to the south.
Oh,
Yes, where there is a door off the ground foyer.
loud knocking. Knock, 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 knock,
The
knock.
door is slightly ajar,
Oh,
and when you knock, it just opens. And what you see is the table you ate at last night, actually. There is a fire. There's a fireplace, a large high-backed chairs, several of them.
Ooh, high chairs.
Yeah, and there are candles on the table, and food is laid out. A feast, practically.
Oh my gosh, I
Wow.
love food. It's not candy.
I hope there's more
Oh.
bananas.
The hooded figure is there, sort of like standing in front of the fire in a broody sort of way. and their form is entirely shrouded by their cloak
Oh.
and their hood. Which
Is this yours? He
Cogswell
holds
says,
up the cup.
"Your guests, my lord, and some extras."
Don't
And
worry, you're
Yes.
not extra.
this
You live here.
this person, by the way, if person it be, is huge.
Oh, dang.
7 or 8 feet tall and like slouching.
They're not
Yeah.
so good today.
So they turn this hooded visage to you and say, "Oh, I..." What was the voice I used? "I wasn't expecting more guests. My apologies."
Yeah, my friends came.
Yes, I can see that.
Sorry to gate crash. We were looking for our friends. Laurel was chasing after one of them, and we figured that since you're the only actual house in the area, you probably might know a thing or two about like a
Oh,
huge pack of wolves.
Dawn's here. I saw her come in.
Oh, good. Our friend's here too. Sorry about that. He's probably sleeping with all your wolves. You just have like a big old pile of wolves. Is that what you're saying, Laurel?
Yeah, kind of.
Oh.
There was like a bajillion wolves.
A large gloved hand, like really large, comes out, and there is a wand in it, and that taps the table,
What a
and
cool one.
there's a ripple across like the tablecloth, and it causes all of the utensils to a little bit bounce, and then they begin to move.
Wow!
It says,
Little claps!
"I was only
Yay!
expecting to dine with young Mr. Laurel, was
Laurel. Yeah, you're
Please.
Beowulf. Mr.
Yes, I am Lord Lychargus Beowulf.
Oh,
Lord.
well,
I will have my servants fetch more food to accommodate you.
oh my gosh, that would be so nice. Thank you so
Yeah,
much.
Sally's always really hungry. She needs lunch.
And
This
you,
body runs on premium fuel, all right?
Yeah.
you see as cups and plates and forks hop off the table, down a chair, and start rolling or bouncing into the kitchen.
Wow.
I freaking love it. I am so excited.
With another wave of this
I hope they
giant
watch
person's
this.
wand, the chairs all scoot out, whereas before only the one at the heads of the tables had been scooted out. This is,
Ooh, that's a useful trick.
I'll sit
please,
closest to
have a seat.
Lucky.
Sally's gonna sit as close as she can
Because I
to
like him.
the master as well, and just be like,
All right.
"Wow, you're so dreamy."
I want to sit farthest away because he's kind of giving me some weird vibes.
But he's so good at magic. Oberon.
You see that the Lychargus, or that's not his name, Lychargus, was sort of gesturing for you to have the other head of the table, but upon seeing that there are other guests, he pulls the chair out for you next
Yeah,
to
I'm sitting
him.
right next to him.
He's sitting at the head close to
Yeah.
the fire. And he sort of scoots you in, Laurel.
Thank you.
Sally, he does not do this for you.
Oh yeah, thanks for the pajamas.
Sally will just
They
kinda
are.
wiggle her way closer.
To your liking.
Yeah, they're nice. They're so comfy. I didn't even wake up. I woke up in
Yes,
bed.
I thought you'd be uncomfortable. I had my servants tend to you.
Oh, thanks. Wait, like servants like Clocky?
Larger.
Oh, I was gonna say I think it would take him a long time to move me over there.
He says, he just kind of chuckles and says, yes, it would be a bit of a task for him.
Yeah, he's small. Don't say it to him though, he's really sensitive about it.
I am exactly how my master made me! He
Yeah,
insists.
Laurel.
Yeah, he made you small. I mean, good size.
Master, if I may have your leave. And the large gloved hands, yes, of course.
You're not gonna have breakfast?
I am a construct. I do not need to eat.
But do you want to eat?
No, it would do something terrible to my interior gears.
Oh.
Time at concerts.
Maybe we can
Are
find
you
you
not
some grease or
supposed
something.
What did you say, Sally? I was laughing at what Laurel said.
It's okay. I was just so stupid. I was just like, oh, we can get you some grease then. It'll be fine.
I am adequately oiled. Thank you.
I know you guys tips to me.
And he just sort of marches out of the.
He
out
wants
of the
cute.
room. Your face is cute. And
Thank you.
he pulls on the door, but he's not big enough to like slam it, so it just kind of like almost closes.
Don't worry, we'll get it.
I apologize for his behavior. I hope he was. I hope he wasn't
think-
rude to you.
I think he's nice.
He's just cranky because he didn't sleep. I was in the bed, so he probably
The plates and dishes and forks and all that stuff come back with more food, and just like hop up onto the table. They seem to have practiced this because they're actually quite small,
Oh.
so they just like
What?
trapeze up there, and eventually the table is set, and then with a tap of the wand on the table, there's another ripple across it, and then everything is perfectly still.
Yeah.
Yay! I love dinner theater.
Good job.
What brings you to my castle?
The moon mostly.
Ah, the night of the full moon.
Yeah.
Yes.
It told me to come.
We were just following our friends
The
who
moon.
were following the moon.
He seems to be ignoring Sally and is a little
Aw.
fixated on Laurel. Not like to a rude degree, but he addresses
No, I get
Laurel.
it. I
He
get
says,
it. I get it. Sally's a third wheel super hard right now. He's like weird Stockholm
moon.
girlfriend syndrome.
The moon guides many destinies.
I think I guided a lot of wolves. There was like did you see all those wolves that were here yesterday? There was a
I
lot.
did. They are something of my kindred.
Oh.
Oh,
Yes.
He goes to reach for the hood and look under there.
The
Are
big
you
old
a wolf
hand
under there?
pauses. But
I see you both were raised by wolves. Excellent.
Yeah. Speaking of that, my friend
yes,
was Dawn.
the white wolf.
Yeah.
She is here.
Oh.
She is resting.
Oh, you think she wants some breakfast?
I will have my servants tend to her.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
I have a bad feeling Dawn is resting
I bet
inside
she's
of a
good.
dungeon.
I think she'll like these pajamas.
I will outfit her with some if that is your wish for your friend.
Uh-huh. She's probably retired. She ran for a long time.
It is no ordinary place you have found yourselves, my friends.
Well, yeah, there's like a billion wolves here, and everything keeps moving around.
This is a secluded place.
Is this like a wolf hotel?
Is it a wolf hotel?
Yeah.
Not a hotel, no.
No.
Wolf
Okay.
daycare?
Yeah, daycare.
I suppose you might say it's something of a wolf home.
Oh.
Yes.
Wolf
A
house.
refuge from the hunters.
Oh.
Who's hunting wolves?
Our dog has a home. So
There is a village on the other side of the mountains to the north that does not care for wolves or those who bear their features. And he reaches up and pulls the hood down, and you see that he is a werewolf.
I knew it!
Yeah.
Wait, what does he look like?
You know, our friend
He doesn't
Dawn
look-
has ears. She doesn't wear
What'd you say,
Does he look
Sally?
like- Does he look like Dawn?
He does not. Don had a bit of a leaner, sleeker, kind of like a
Does
racing
he have like
hound,
a
sort
wolf
of.
mouth?
Yeah, he has a wolf muzzle, and unlike Dawn, who was sort of lean and quick looking, this is a
Mhm.
burly, heavy looking wolf man.
Go scruffle
Like
under his chin.
A swole wolf.
Like right under his little
Where's
cheek. He's
the
like, ugh.
he's a little taken aback by that, but he doesn't stop you. He says, "You are the first people I've met not to be off put by my appearance."
Oh, it's okay. I can be a wolf sometimes. He's scared. He feels like
We have many friends. Many sorts of friends.
his scritchy fingers travel up to behind the ears.
We're not
It's really
prejudiced.
close and in his business.
I had forgotten not all humans were like Vost and his companions.
Boss, yeah.
Vost.
Yeah, who's boss?
He is a hunter from that village I spoke of. It is he who leads raids on this place.
So he's a real jerk, right?
Yes.
Good face. Yeah.
He is lurking in the woods even now, my wolves tell me. I'm afraid you'll not be safe if you exit the castle here.
What the heck?
We've been able to fight off worse.
I mean, we were able to walk into the castle
You want us
pretty
to
well.
beat him up for you?
He leads a large contingent of villagers who are misguided. I would not want harm to befall them simply because they've been wrapped up in his charismatic trickery. But they present a danger to me and my kindred.
Maybe you should just give him one good bop each.
I mean, we
I
can go
have.
find this
It
guy
has
and
not
spank
been
him
sufficient.
until he knocks it off. Attitude adjustment is what it is.
I'd knock it off.
I don't know how he'd respond to that. I think he'd just kind of look at you, just like, perhaps, just sort of nodding.
Well, I was nodding, but in earnest. Like, that's a good idea.
You are welcome to stay, of course, as long as you want.
Oh,
Yes.
cool. I think mostly till Dawn feels better.
Ah, your friend.
By now, he's, like, scrambling up the chair a little bit and, like, standing on the cushion where his legs aren't to, like, scritch the top of his head.
He, you can tell he's a little uncomfortable with it. He's not used to people, like, being on him or scritching him. But he's letting you do it, and it's a little weird. That he's just, like, cool with this.
Laurel's not noticing any of that body language.
Yeah.
He's just very, like, oh, it's a dog! Okay. Oh, he's so cute.
You're a charming
Scratching all
one.
over.
You said your name is Laurel?
Yeah.
What is your surname?
Laurel.
I don't think he's a knight.
I don't have a misname or a surname.
You.
I just have a one name.
Please, tell me about yourself. You can say Laurel tells him about
Laurel
himself.
tells
You don't
him
want to
himself.
go
It's a
over it
lot
all.
of irrelevant information, like what food he likes, what his favorite color is, like nothing about his backstory or anything.
He is, like, enraptured. He's, like, hanging on your every word. And he's just, like,
It's
staring
Laurel's
deeply
hanging on his
into...
every reaction too, because he's a big dog.
He is, like, gazing deeply into your eyes.
Wow, he's a good listener.
Yeah.
You're supposed to look at people's eyes when you talk to them.
You happen to get the highest percent.
I was wondering.
So, the rest of you are kind of picking up that this Lord Lycargus is very interested in Laurel. How do the rest of you react to this?
Good.
I don't know if Maya has any. I mean, she's just gonna let things play out, I think.
Definitely seems like we stumbled in on like a weird date. Oh no!
Yeah, she's
Laurel's
just like fading
giving
into the
up.
background as much as she can,
Zero
I think.
day vibes.
It definitely seems like a weird like. Laurel got invited to the party, but all of her
And showed up with 3 friends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's I don't Oberon doesn't necessarily feel comfortable with any of this, but also it's just he can't sit comfortably right now because he's a little distracted because he's sitting and he has
Every once in a while, the table gets bumped. Or, excuse me, your chair.
Yeah, you can't really judge the situation because he's a little distracted. He feels uncomfortable about the situation, but he can't tell if it's the situation or if it's something else that he's sitting on.
Yeah, meanwhile, Maya just dragged in a gigantic spear and a bunch of daggers and a club.
Yeah, he doesn't seem to mind. The other constructs around are, well, they don't have faces, so you can't really gauge any reaction off them. If reactions they have at all. Near as you can tell, they're just animated by magic.
Laurel's just busily looking for to see if he can find a spot that makes his leg shake like dog.
You probably can't.
Oh, he's
But,
trying. He's squirting.
He says, I saw your friend last night. She seemed to be in the throes of her first transformation, or one of the first.
Yeah, I've never seen her be a wolf before. I didn't even know she could do that.
She has recently contracted the curse, then?
She doesn't usually say bad words. She
He
gets
has a
mad
little-
at you if you do, so don't do
He has
it.
a little chuckle, and he turns to anyone else to sort of fill him in, actually.
Well, I mean, she was kind of a wolf before, but not like that.
She was like a regular wolf, and then she ate
Yeah,
some funnel
The
cake.
wolf ears, and then, yeah.
Yeah, she never used to be like a wolf.
She was
when
a
the
lady
moon was
wolf.
out. Yeah, she was just like a regular old lady wolf. But
The
now
curse.
she seems like she's
Yeah.
oh no, a curse.
The curse of lycanthropy is
Oh.
just barely beginning to take hold then. She will be able to control herself more once she has slain a humanoid.
Oh,
And that's where we'll stop for tonight.
Ah!
Oh boy.
oh, don't worry, your friend will be fine once she gets jumped into the gang.
Gotta
No.
murder someone, that'll be fine.
Now, someone has tickets to a movie, as I understand it. So,
Yeah.
real quick, and she won't be here for table tea, unfortunately, but you'll be here in our hearts. Real quick,
Aw.
let's have our ending, traditional ending, and yeah.
Shill. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Yes.
I love shilling and farthing.
Nice.
Namaya, go.
Alright, so yes, I'm Namaya is played by me, T. Rugen. You can play my games, Battle of the Wild 1 and 2. You can find them on the AOTK gaming video game forum thingy.
They're very
Sweet.
good. You should play them.
I mean to, but I'm so fucking
Especially if
busy.
you're all about those booty smacks.
Heck yeah.
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 Movie ticket haver.
Yeah. Yes. Over on Played by Arkham Insanity. You can find me on Patreon. Isidore Arkham. And everywhere else is Arkham Insanity. Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Laurel.
Pastel Hime, most places, Pastel Playpen on Twitter, and I draw the things. What you like to look at.
Fantastic.
She drew Laurel.
I did, and Sally.
Oh yeah.
Eh.
Oh, and that's me. I'm Sally.
You is.
I play Sally. I am on Twitter at SpankMeSilly. I write spanking erotica. Best-selling spanking erotica. It's kind of a big deal.
Big deal.
If
I'm
you like
kind of awesome.
like domestic discipline age play stuff with like a lesbian focus, go check out my stuff. I publish under the pen name Clarine Klein. So you can either go to like ClarineKlein.com or just on Amazon go and search Back to Her Teens, and you should be able to figure out which one is mine because it's the one with the girl who looks like she just got spanked on it.
You can even get a real book of it if you want to.
You can.
Yeah, you can get a paperback, you can get a hardback, you can get a digital back, or you can get an audio back.
You can get a spanked back. What?
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be a great name for like a special edition spanked back cover.
It's got a handprint on it.
Yeah. All right.
Oh, I love
Though Dawn was not able to join us today, she is played by Nikki, who goes on DeviantArt as Roses of Blue. Or if you're on the AOTK Discord, they're the admin of that.
Train.
That's the wolf construct.
The
We got
train's here.
fusion. And yeah, so check them out and
Hey,
the
who are
stories that they write. Me, I'm Ashley OTK. I'm Ashley OTK everywhere except Twitter, which I'm doomed to say for the rest of time. I'm actually actual Ashley OTK. They're at actual Ashley.
Actual Ashley OTK.
Author of Guilty Treasure, the webcomic that this setting is, this D&D campaign is set in as well. So if you want to read a little bit more about it, it's on DeviantArt, it's on AOTK, it's on lots of
Pretty
places.
great.
If you Google Ashley OTK or I think even Guilty Treasure, I'm like top results.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
You know,
That's
baby.
the way.
And thank you to everyone who's joined the Patreon recently. That's been a huge boost in oh wow, people really like this.
Yeah.
If you want to join, it's Patreon/Guilty Treasure Gaming. There are all sorts of rewards now, including the Boons and Banes system that we have been using even today. And
Yeah, it was very
I
helpful.
think we have a tie on what the adventure crystals going on is, so I'll probably have to break it. Or if you join the Patreon and break it, then I'll post the next one.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that'll be fun. And we are gonna let Arkham go to see her movie, and the rest of us will be back for a little bit of table tea.
All right.
All right.
Y'all have
Love you
fun.
all.
Talk
Someone
about
post the
Oberon.
links to the things, please.
Oh, there's the Discord.
Yes, the Discord.
I just posted it.
Yeah.
Thank you. All right.
It's also
Alright.
in the description if you're on YouTube.
Yes. Love you guys. Bye-bye. Mwah.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.